Hello everybody and welcome to another video here on Pay to Win the Game. A new pack was just released here called Dawn of Destiny on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. And as you can see, I have about 671 gems, but I will actually be spending a little bit of my own money on this box just to make the video a little more interesting and a little longer. Now, I usually don't spend money on this game. I probably spend about $5 to $10 on opening packs, but I just got a debit card and I'm feeling a little big baller, and so yeah, I kind of wanted to open some extra packs and stuff like that. It is a mini box, so I could probably get almost every SR and UR if I spent enough money, but I think I'm gonna open the 13 packs that I can open with the gems, and then I'm going to buy the first 3 deals because I believe that's only about $10 for all 3 of the deals. I believe it goes 3 packs is 99 cents, then it goes 3 packs plus 1 SR is $1.99, and then it goes 10 packs plus 1 SR is like $4.99 or $5.99, which is about $10, and then I think it gets to 30 packs plus 1 SR plus 1 UR for about $30. And I definitely will not be doing that, but I'll probably be opening around 30 packs here today. And yeah, I'm just gonna hop right into it and talk about the cards as I go. There's a couple of cards that I know about, being the 2 URs, a couple of rares and stuff like that, just from doing the loaner deck duels and stuff like that. But here we go. We're gonna be opening the first 10 packs. I will be talking over pretty much every card. Fire King Avatar Kirin, 3 stars, 1000 attack, 200 defense. Fire monster. So basically, hold on, before I get into this, this pack has a lot of fire, it has a lot of naturia, and it has a little bit of zombie in it. So yeah, that's basically what the pack is on. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. Now, I'm not really sure what this fire type deck thing is. I kind of won the loaner duel before I even got to like use most of it, but there's a field spell that has a couple of different effects, and then there's these Fire King thingies that have like a couple of different effects, so hopefully I can understand the basis of it by the time I am through with the packs. Naturia Eggplant's a decent card. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can select 1 Naturia monster in your graveyard except Naturia Eggplant and add it to your hand. It recycles a little bit, a little 2-star Naturia. And Fire King Island, this is the field spell that I was talking about. If this card in the field zone is sent to the graveyard or banished, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use one of the following effects of Fire Island per turn, and only once that turn. During your main phase, you can destroy one monster in your hand or you control. You can destroy one monster in your hand? That's kind of weird. You can destroy one monster in your hand or you control, and if you do, add 1 Fire King monster from your deck to your hand. So you can ditch you can ditch a monster or destroy or tribute a monster basically to add another Fire King from your deck to your hand. And the second effect is, if you control no monsters, you can summon 1 Fire Winged Beast type monster from your hand. So I'm assuming Fire Winged Beasts are what all the Fire Kings are, but I'm not so sure about that. Little blues. Ninjutsu Art of Shadow Ceiling. Tribute 1 ninja monster to target 1 monster your opponent controls. Banish that target. While that card is banished, its monster card zone cannot be used. So this locks down a monster card zone for your opponents. When this face-up card leaves the field, return the card banished by this effect to the same monster card zone in the battle position. So it's kind of like Dimension Gate, but for your opponents, which is kind of cool, but it also locks their monster spot down. So that's actually a pretty cool card. I don't think it's that good, but it's pretty cool. Invasion of Flames. I remember this card actually from when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh! When this card is normal summoned successfully, no trap cards can be activated. I'm not sure if it means while he's face up on the field after he's been normal summoned successfully, or no trap cards can be activated like during, like, you know what I mean, like no trap cards can be activated after his normal summon, like if like Adhesion Trap Pull or something like that. I think that's what it means. Like no trap cards can be activated then while after he's being normal summoned, like no trap cards that say when your opponent normal summons a monster you activate this trap card. I'm pretty sure that's what it means. And Sealing Ceremony of Catan. Once per turn you can banish 1 fire monster from your graveyard to target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish that target. So it's kind of weird, I don't know. It doesn't seem too helpful really. Bone Crusher. When this card is special summoned from your graveyard by the effect of a zombie type monster, you can target one spell or trap card your opponent controls to destroy that target. During the end phase of the card this turn, this card was special summoned, destroy it. So if you have zombies and you could special summon this guy, pop a back row, use him to attack, and then he's destroyed. And then he can also always be special summoned again because he's only destroyed, not banished or anything like that. Vampire Dragon, a 4-star zombie, 2400 attack, 0 defense. When this tribute summoned card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 level 4 and lower monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so we have a 1800 rare here, Fire King Avatar Yaksha. If a face-up Fire King monster you control... Here, I'm moving my mouse out of the way. If a face-up Fire King monster you control is destroyed by a card effect, except during the damage step, you could special summon this card from your hand. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy 1 card in your hand or that you control. You can only use this effect once per turn. It says a lot of these cards are saying destroy 1 card from your hand, which is kind of weird. But I'm pretty sure it just means discard. Ninjutsu Art, Naturia Hydrangea. If the effect of a Naturia monster you control was activated during this turn, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's actually really good. A 5-star 1900 2000, not the best stats, but the fact that you can get a 5-star out for free just special summoning it, and a lot of Naturia's effects go off pretty easily. That's actually really helpful for Naturia decks. Anti-Magic Prism, I actually remember this card too. When your opponent activates a quick play spell, select 1 card on the field and destroy it. Now this can actually be, this is the first time seeing this card, I didn't know this was in the game, but this can actually be counter meta, to be honest. You might be able to throw one of these in, well, I'm sure once you get to the higher rankings. In the lower rankings you probably won't need this, but in the higher rankings you can definitely use this when people start running like 3 econs in all their decks, or even order to charges. This is actually a pretty decent card. I'm not sure how much it'll be used, but it has potential for sure. Barkion's Bark. This is actually really good Naturia support. Activate only if you control a face-up Naturia monster. Your opponent cannot activate trap cards this turn. So basically, it's like you can't activate trap cards this turn to your opponent, and you can just like go for game. You know what I mean? Like if you have all your big Naturias finally out, and you have the potential for a game, you can activate this, and the only thing that'll be able to save them is like Sphere Kribos or Econs. So that's actually really good. Landoise's Luminous Moss. Activate only if you control a face-up Naturia monster. The opponent's effect monsters cannot activate their effects this turn. That's kind of the same thing as the last one, but it's not as good. It's effect monsters instead of traps. I don't think that'll be used really. Good Goblin Housekeeping is a card that I actually really like. I think it's actually pretty good. It's like Jar of Greed but better in my opinion, kind of. Like for like Odeon decks and stuff like that, I think this will be used over Jar of Greed in my opinion. Draw cards equal to the number of Good Goblin Housekeeping cards in your graveyard plus 1. So even if this is the first one you use, you still get to draw 1 card. Then select 1 card from your hand and return it to the bottom of the deck. So once you at the first, like, it depends, because when you use the first one, it's basically just a 1-for-1 trade of something you don't want in your hand for a draw. But once you start getting more Good Goblin Housekeepings in the graveyard, it's still plus, because then you'll be drawing 2 cards, and then you switch 1 back, and then you'll be drawing 3 cards and you switch 1 back. So I really think this is a really good card, and it could help speed up a lot of decks. Maybe even Odeon could be used over Jar of Greeds, because I'm pretty sure they run 3. I'm not sure though. I've never seen that much of an Odeon's deck. Exterior's Fang. Activate only if you control a face-up Naturia monster and have at least 1 card in your hand. Negate the activation of opponent's spell/trap card and destroy it. Then send 1 card from your hand to the graveyard. Now this is really powerful actually. It's kind of like Magic Jammer, but it can do spell or trap. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of support for Naturias in, not a lot of support, but there's a little bit of support for Naturias in the graveyard. So if you actually ditch a Naturia, then you can like get them back with like Eggplant, for example, which was one of the first cards we saw. Or I'm pretty sure there's something you can special summon from the graveyard as well. So that's pretty good. Another Naturia Hydrangea and another Sealing Ceremony of Catan. Another Invasion of Flames. Card of the Soul. This card's weird. Look at the deck. look at your deck, and if you do, you can add one monster from your deck to your hand whose sum of attack and defense equals your LP. You can only activate one card's soul per turn. Now, I think the reason this is in the game is because one of the URs, the monster UR in the pack, the Phoenix card, has exactly 4,000 attack and defense combined. So I think that they put this in the game to search for the Phoenix on like or the earlier turns of the game, but it's not that good of a card. And then we have another Fire King Avatar, another Naturia Eggplant, another Fire King Avatar, and Beast Rising. Once per turn, you can remove from play one face-up Beast type or Beast Warrior type monster you control. To select one other face-up Beast or Beast Warrior type monster you control, the selected monster gains the original attack of that monster removed from play for this effect. So it's kind of like Elemental Hero Terraform, where you tribute one and you gain the attack. So that's pretty cool. I don't think it's that good unless there's a lot of beast special summoning going on. It might be decent. Here we have Vampire Lady. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, declare one card type. Your opponent sends one card of that type from their deck to the graveyard. So if you say spell, they have to ditch one spell from their deck. If you say trap, they have to ditch one trap from their deck. And then some more repeats. Another Bone Crusher. Full pack of repeats. Alright. So I will be taking this off the screen for just a second while I... Wait, no, that's not the right thing. I'm taking off the screen. There we are. Here we go. Let me go ahead and buy this real quick. Payment successful. How often would you like to confirm your password for purchases? Let's say never, just for the sake of this video, to make it go by a little faster. That should have gone through. Another 3 packs here, and we have a new rare Hazy Flame Hypogryph. It's level 6 fire. Your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Once per turn, you contribute one other fire type monster. This card gains 300 attack. Not too good, actually. Not too good. Naturia Pumpkin. This is one of the best Naturia cards. When this card is normal summoned, if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon one Naturia monster from your hand. So if you think about it, that other Hydrigia Naturia, where it could special summon once a Naturia monster's effect has gone off, and you have another big boy Naturia in your hand, you special summon the other one, activate Hydria's effect, and like you have 3 monsters out on the field really fast. Hand of Nephthesis. This is support for the main UR of the pack, the Phoenix one. You contribute this card and one other monster. Special summon one Sacred Phoenix of Nephthys from your hand or deck. So it's a 2-for-1, but you can get out the Phoenix, which is actually really good because if he's ever destroyed by a card effect, he just comes right back. So we have triple Kribos and nothing. We still have yet to pull a UR or anything like that. Another Naturia Pumpkin, another card of the soul, and here we have Dark Flare Knight. You take no battle damage from battles involving this card. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, special summon one Mirage Knight from your hand or deck. This is actually Dark Magician and Flame Swordsman. It's a 6-star dark, but there's actually one of the SRs is Mirage Knight, and then one of the SRs is also the little fusion material monsters for dark types. The Earth one was added into the card shop a while ago, and then now there's one for dark types, and I think the dark type one's a little bit better. I think there's better dark fusion monsters out there. See, now we have 3 packs plus 1 SR. Let me just take it off just in case it doesn't, like in case some of my card or anything like that pops up. Huh. Can't complete the transaction. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right. Wait, hold on. Actually, what is the setting for pausing? Hold on. I'm sorry. Oh, very unprofessional. Hotkeys. Pause. Resume. All right. I'll be right back. Hello guys. We're back. I had to actually. It's been like 15 minutes for me, sadly, and I'm sorry. Well, it didn't take you guys any time actually because the video was paused. But yeah. I actually had to hook up my PayPal account for some reason because after the first payment under Google Pay, it didn't work. after that. So I hooked up my PayPal account instead. So yeah. Oh, here we are, a new Naturia card, one of the best in the game in my opinion. Not the best stats, but when this card is normal summon, you could send one Naturia monster from your deck to the graveyard. Once per turn, you can target 2 Naturia monsters in your graveyard. Shuffle both those targets into the deck, then draw 1 card. So, basically, he gets to recycle one of your monsters for free, and you get a draw. Because say you threw away something from Naturia's Barkion's Bark, you can then throw away another Naturia, but it won't matter because you'll instantly shuffle it back into the deck and draw 1 card. So he's actually really quite good. But I haven't seen any SRs or URs yet. I mean, yeah, SRs or URs. Naturia Sunflower, this card's kind of booty. You contribute this card and add 1 Naturia monster to negate the activation of an effect monster your opponent controls and destroy it. It's really not that good. We have Des Wombat here. Any damage to you from a card effect becomes 0. So it has decent potential, but like there's really no reason to run one of these just to counter Taya Burn. I mean, it would be decent in a beast deck because it's a 1600 3-star. And I'm not sure, is Obedient Schooled actually 3 stars or 4 stars? But hold on, we have Triple Karibo, Gold, and Joey's Face. So we have a Vampire Dragon, we have a new N, Naturia Stag Beetle. Well, this is one of the better cards for the Pumpkin and the Hydrigia combo and stuff like that. Once per turn, during the battle step or damage step of this card's attack, when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can select 1 Naturia monster in your graveyard, special summon that monster from the graveyard. So if he activates an Econ, a Windstorm, a Mirror Wall, or anything like that, you can actually special summon 1 Naturia from the graveyard, which you could have ditched one of the bigger Naturia monsters with Barkion's Bark and stuff like that. Or I mean that counter trap Naturia card. So yeah, there's a lot of, I think Naturia is going to be a pretty decent archetype. And we have Sacred Phoenix of Nephthisisis. The UR on the main cover of the pack. During the next standby phase, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, special summon this card from the graveyard. When you do, destroy all spell and trap cards on the field. So it's actually quite a good card and it has a decent amount of support. So I think it could be a pretty good thingy. Now we get 1 confirmed SR because of the pack. We get a Mirage Knight, probably one of the worst cards, and I didn't read it, so I'll read it right now. Actually, I can read it right now here. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned by Dark Flare Knight, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. During the damage calculation only, this card gains attack equal to the original attack of the opponent's monster it is battling. During the end phase of a card, this card is attacked, banish this card. So, it's like, it's for 1 big hit. And that's not too bad because, like, it's like, usually when a monster gets destroyed, you know, nothing happens. But if Dark Flare Knight gets destroyed, you get this huge monster out that can tackle pretty much any monster. So that's actually pretty good. I don't know if their deck is going to be good enough to run. You can run this guy. This is the Dark Substitute Fusion monster. Yeah, so he's the Dark Fusion substitute, and as you can see, Dark Flare Knight is a Dark type. So it could be a fun deck to run, because Mirage Knight will literally come out and do 2,800 damage to anything it battles, because, like, say it battles a Blue Eyes, this thing's attack will go up to 5,800, which is kind of insane. So yeah, hold on, let me take this off the screen real quick. I will be buying this, and then I actually checked the sale. The next is 12 packs plus 1 SR. So we might do it depending on how much it is. If it's under $10, I'll probably do it. But yeah, okay, so payment successful. Here we are with 10 packs plus 1 SR. Vampire Baby. At the end of the battle phase, if this card destroyed a monster by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon that monster to your side of the field. So it's actually it's a decent effect, to be honest. Just the stats are kind of lacking. So if you run some support cards like Ryoku and stuff like that, this I feel like this card has potential, to be honest. I think it would be pretty fun, you know, thingy to run, to be honest. Bone Crusher and Fire King Avatar. Exterior's Fang is the card I was talking about, where you ditch one. You discard one, and then like you can use Stag Beetle and all those other effects to special summon all these cards we've seen before. So I think it's really just the SRs left, and I'm not gonna okay, well, as I say that, we get Bushfire Knight, so hopefully I can get another one soon so I can read that effect off. But if it's just really SRs left that I don't have, then I'll just show them to you because I don't want to buy until it's like I'm bankrupt. Which it is appearing to be. Here we go. Gold with the Joey face. We get Dark Hex Sealed Fusion, so this is a fusion substitute for any dark type monster. So it's decent. Like I said before, the Earth one had just got added into the shop a while ago, but I feel like there's a lot more dark fusion monsters than Earth ones, so this one, in my opinion, this one's better. And that's probably why it's an SR in a pack and not like an N in the shop or whatever it is in the shop. But yeah, so there's the next 10 packs, and I forgot I actually have 3 packs to open because I still have 171 gems. Oh, that voice cracked. But let me get to Bushfire Knight real quick. When a fire monster is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can send 1 fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, send 1 fire monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use 1 Bushfire Knight effect per turn, and only once that turn. So it gets a lot of fire monsters in your graveyard. What that's good for, I'm not quite sure yet, but let's go ahead and grab our SR. Please don't be Mirage Knight. Magical Exemplar. Each time a spell card is activated, place 2 spell counters on this card. When that spell card resolves. Once per turn, you can remove any number of spell counters from this card, special summon 1 spellcaster monster from your hand or graveyard whose level is equal to the number of spell counters you removed. So that's actually quite a strong effect. I think it had 1600 attack, 1700 spellcaster, 1400 defense. Its stats alone are actually quite good. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these 3 packs, and I don't think I'm gonna be spending $10 more. I'll just show off the last URs or SRs that I did not get and the UR. We got some blue, but nothing happening, it appears. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I've gotten almost every rare or normal card in the pack, and like I said before, I don't want to waste money fishing for any of the other ones. There's 1 rare we have not gotten, which is Puzzle Reborn. If exactly 1 monster you control and no other card is destroyed by a card effect, target that monster, special summon that target. So it's decent. It could be good in a couple of decks. Because it can be your card effect. So say you ordered a charge, I think, and no, that's tributed. I don't know. I'm sure there's something you can use with it. Oh, there's actually another rare we didn't get. Red Dragon Ninja. When this card is summoned, you can banish 1 ninja or ninjutsu art card from your graveyard to target 1 set card your opponent controls. Reveal that set card, then return it to either top or the bottom of the deck. Your opponent cannot activate that card in response to this effect's activation. So a lot of the fire stuff, the ditching fire monsters, that could help this if one of the fire monsters you ditched was a ninja. So I guess that's decent. He's 6-star 2400, which isn't bad stats. So let's get into the SRs and the URs. A couple of the SRs are some of the cards that Bakura has used. Let's start off with Molten Destruction. The SR field spell, increase the attack of all fire monsters by 500 and decrease their defense by 400. 500 attack is a lot, and because of like all of the defense position cards like Windstorm and Econ, taking away defense is actually kind of hurtful, but I don't think I think 500 plus 500 attack kind of outweighs that, but I'm not quite sure. We'll see about that once the fire decks start running around. Super Rush Headlong. Target 1 face-up monster you control and declare 1 attribute. If that target battles an opponent's monster with that attribute this turn, destroy that opponent's monster at the start of the damage step. So basically you can attack into any big monster and just get rid of it, which is actually pretty cool. Here we have the Heavy Knight of the Flame and 1800 Gemini Fire. At the start of the damage step, if this card attacked a special summon monster, you can banish that monster. So if this guy attacks, and I think this is actually a pretty decent card, 1800 4-star Fire Zombie Gemini. A lot of special summoning going on in the meta with like Kid Brodo and stuff like that. So if this card just attacks, I special summon monster, it instantly banishes it, which is actually quite good with 1800 attack as well, only 200 defense, but 1800 attack. With this field spell, this guy's at 2300, a 2300 4-star, that's insane. With a pretty decent effect, although he is a Gemini, you have to summon him again, blah blah blah, but you know. Here we have a card from, the last two cards are actually cards from Bakura. Skull Conductor here, 2000 4-star. If this card is face up on the field, at the end of your battle phase, destroy this face up card. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard, special summon up to 2 zombie monsters from your hand whose combined attack is exactly 2000. I'm not sure how many zombies have 1000 attack, but if you run like only 1000 attack zombies, they'll all work together and get to this. So that's decent. But a 2000 attack zombie might be good to support for like one last turn. And my dogs are barking, but we do have Illblood, the last SR. It's a Gemini zombie, 6-star, 2100 attack, 800 defense. Once per turn, you special summon one zombie type monster from your hand or from either player's graveyard. When this card leaves the field, destroy all zombie type monsters special summoned by this card's effect. So he gets out another monster. So basically, you're not wasting your summon that turn if you use your summon to use his special ability, which is actually quite good. And then the last UR card is Tribute to the Doomed. Discard one card, then target one monster on the field and destroy it. A really powerful card effect, to be honest. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I opened the 29 packs and then I showed off the other cards that I did not manage pulling. I might rock a Naturia deck soon. I might pull out a Naturia deck, maybe even try to make one of these fire decks. But I'll probably make a Naturia deck because it's actually quite free to play, to be honest, because a lot of the Naturias are ends. I think there's one R Naturia. It's one of the better ones, to be fair. But yeah, almost every card in here is an N for Naturias, and it seems like a decent archetype. So thank you guys very much for watching, and peace.